Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 13 of the January daily draws. So let's see what kind of message we're going to get today. I'll be taking the first card from the Star Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Sacred Spirit reading cards. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. So today we will go there. And our card is the Justice card. So this is all about doing things fairly. It's all about right thinking, being unbiased in our thinking, and judging a situation objectively. Here we have a pool of water that the soul's going into. We have the branches and the growth from the tree. So to me that talks about the energy and the life of the universe coming into this, okay, and being grounded and living in the universal life energy is all. We can't be separate from that when we're making these decisions and reactions. We have here a pool of water here, and the sword going into it, where the light is shining here. And to me, the water always, to me, is about emotions, feelings. And if we just judge a situation on feelings, it may not be a fair assessment, because we're responding from a place of emotion, that we're reacting to a situation a certain way. And if we react purely out of those emotions, we need to be informed as to how the situation is making us feel. We don't need to ignore that, but we can't let it be the ultimate deciding factor, particularly if the situation is pushing our buttons and we're responding out of emotion. And we may feel that we're responding correctly, and in part we may be, but we may not. But there may be a part of our response that isn't really fair to the situation or to the person involved in the situation. So we need to bring some rational, objective thinking in weighing up the situation, so that we're responding, we're bringing that into the emotional situation, saying, well, this is how you may feel, but here are the facts. Here is what the truth of the situation is. If you take a step back and look, and it's not quite how your emotions are telling you. So we need to have that objectivity in our dealings, so we can respond fairly and justly. Okay. Now, the thing I always point out about these scales is that when they're depicted, often they're depicted like this, where they're balanced evenly. That just means it's got to be fair, unbiased. That's the starting point, that everything's on a level footing. And then you put the evidence into the scales and see which way it goes. Because there may be that the evidence goes more to one side than the other, and it weighs that down. And that's the decision you come to. So it's not trying to achieve a balance. This is not about achieving balance. This is starting from a balance, a level playing field. Everybody starts on a level playing field. That's it. It's unbiased. Everybody starts the same in the eyes of the law. In a courtroom setting, that's how it should be. Everybody, no matter their status, their wealth, or whatever, their name or position or whatever, wherever they come from, right? Everybody should ideally start. That's the principle of law. Everybody starts equally in the eyes of the law, right? So that's why the scales are balanced. But that doesn't mean that eventually, in a court case, the evidence won't push one side or the other, either in their favor or against them. But it has to be the evidence, it has to be the truth, it has to be the facts that come into either side, either for or against, and to come in, and whichever way the scales go, that's the decision that has to be made, right? That's the scales of justice. Okay, so it's not achieving a state of equality and balance. That's the starting point, and then you put the truth and the facts into that, and to see which way it goes. Okay, in rare cases it may actually come up 50-50. It's 6 of one and half dozen of the other, so it's a 50-50 split on responsibility, on whatever, and then you make the decision on the basis of that. Okay, but more often than not, it's going to be one side or to the other, but it's going to be the facts. You've got to start level. You can't have like I forget what the term is now, what to do with the scales, where they're unfairly weighted in one side at the beginning, so it's hard for the person to get a fair judgment. That's what it's about. That's, to me, what justice is. Everybody starts on that level footing, and every situation starts on that level footing. Then you put the facts in and let the facts determine the outcome. And that will then give you the basis on which to make the judgment, the decision that you have to make. So let's see what oracle card we get to go with that. Here you go. Astral travel. Caution needed. Now, it's the caution needed. Okay. I feel this. Obviously, when you astral travel, you need a bit of caution. You need to make sure that you're doing it safely and things like that. That's where the caution comes in, without looking at the guidebook. But it's basically this caution needed. We need to have caution before we make a judgment, a decision. Here, we need to establish what the truth of the situation is. The caution is not to respond too much out of emotion. So we need to be objective. The caution is get an objectivity as much as you can before making a decision. So I feel that's what the message is today. Whatever situation we're in, whatever thing that we're trying to work out or assess, make sure that your emotions aren't dictating, that you're getting an objectivity coming into the situation, so that you can make a fair and right decision about what you're doing and how you're responding. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow for day 14 as we end the week. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.